make an opening statement, and then we'll field questions.
Well, as advertised, it was a great game. First off, I want to talk about the crowd. The crowd was fantastic for both teams. Not very many women's basketball programs across the country get to play in an atmosphere like that. It makes it very, very special for both programs. And I can't thank our crowd enough. Our student body was tremendous tonight. A lot of student athletes were here tonight, and really made it extra special to play in front. That is not the case across this country when women's basketball programs get to play in front of that kind of crowd. And in Northwest Ohio, between the two programs, we're very, very spoiled. It was a physical game. We talked about when we came into it that I have been referring to Toledo's defense as they're the Steelers of MAC women's basketball. They're physical, and they win a lot of games because of their defense. And it took 12 or 14 minutes in the first half for finally us to get in a rhythm where we got some slips and got some opportunities. Our kids never quit. We could have quit and gone away quietly, and we fought. Just couldn't get over the hump tonight when we needed it most. And that's hats off to their play down the stretch. Toledo played very, very well. Too many coaches don't give credit to the other teams, and Toledo played great tonight. Their stars stepped up. And you can see how closely matched these programs are. I don't think there was a big surprise on how the game turned out, how the game played out, both offensively and defensively.
Would you attribute the slow start offensively exclusively to Toledo's play, or are kids a little bit tight?
I don't think we were tight. Toledo's defense is that good. They were really, really up in you. We worked on some things that I thought we did a better job in the second half. We did a better job late in the first half that we couldn't slow down enough to execute early on. That's a disappointment, but that is strictly because of their defense. Their defense is fantastic. Fantastic and physical. They're very, very physical. And I sat in here and boldly said, you guys asked me one stat line. Okay, pick one stat line, narrow down one stat line that would be the difference in the game. And I said, we have to get to the foul line to win. And we went 0 times in the first half. That has not happened to us all year. We were unable to get to the foul line. I thought it was going to be a key. We stepped up and went 14 times in the second half, but we just couldn't get to the foul line in the first half.
Talk about the decision to go with Jessica more in the second half than Tracy.
Tracy hurt her knee in the first half. Was really, really tight. She was not moving well. So especially at the defensive end, you know, it's hard to stay in front of Nama with fresh people. When you have a gimpy point guard, we had to try to steal minutes from Slagle to defend her and, you know, get Tracy, you know, when we went in when we could. And to her credit, look at the character she has. Hadn't scored basically all night from the field, and then made a big 3 late to keep us in it. But she's really, really banged up. She had a significant knee injury tonight that, you know, the media would be very happy, and ex-players in our program would be very happy that she played with her knee injury.
You mentioned Nama. It seemed like every time you made a run, she was there on a drive or a dish. Just talk about what you saw of her tonight.
Well, she's fantastic, and what makes her so difficult is her change of pace, change of direction. She's fast, but she changes speeds and changes direction, which gives you a nightmare to defend. And so she was fantastic, but you know, Goodall made big plays down the stretch, and to her credit, in the final 4 minutes, she had 4 points. She made the assist on the 3-point play to Lucretia Smith, an unbelievable find. She threaded the needle on the pass. And then when they left the door cracked open for us to potentially steal it, she got the offensive rebound off the foul line. Got fouled and made her 2 foul shots. So 4 points, a huge assist, and a huge back-breaking offensive rebound, all in the last 4 minutes. And that's what you want your go-to players and you know, best players in the league to do. And you know, Nama had a great game, but Goodall made big plays in the last 4 minutes.
Coach, you mentioned the physicality. Do you feel like your team was ready for that physicality? Or?
Well, certainly we talked about it. You know, we're a little bit more finesse team. We're not built like them. We're not our program isn't built like that. We've recruited different type of kids. They're going to be more physical. We've talked about it. We prepared for it. Still, until you go out there and play against it, you completely understand that. And we had stretches where we exploited it, but it took a while to get to that point.
Coach Warren said you had a couple of poor practices before the game. Did that carry over at all?
You know, this team is 17-3. They won 85% of their games this year. In the last 5 years, we're one of the top 5 winningest programs in the country, and we haven't had a good practice in 3 weeks. I trust them that this team's mature enough to continue to step up and play good basketball game time. I'm frustrated that we're not a better practice team. But, you know, we have one of the top 5 winningest programs in the country. Okay, we're talking UConn, Tennessee, Baylor, North Carolina, and us. So they step up on game days. I just wish we would be a little bit better in practice. Is there a carryover? We're 17-3 with 3 one-point losses.
But the rebounding, especially the first half, you got hardly any second shots and all that. You got a little bit better in the second half, but they really kept you guys from doing anything, and then they were able to capitalize on their offensive rebounds.
Well, ironically, I think, talk about foul shooting and it changed, but the story of the game was rebounding. It was the big difference, the stat line, that's big difference. They had 17 offensive rebounds. We had 16 defensive rebounds. So every time that there was a missed shot, they were getting more than 50% of them back. So really, really hard to beat a team when you give up more offensive rebounds than you're getting defensive rebounds. And they seem to have big ones, timely ones. And it was everyone. Everyone contributed. You know, Courtney Ingersoll, I don't know if she scored, but she had big offensive rebounds. Local product, Yolanda Richardson had big boards, timely boards. A big one against zone. We got them to miss against our zone, and she got a big putback. So I think rebounding, ironically, when it's all said and done, is a huge story tonight. I mean, we got to 65. They only have a 40% winning percentage when they let teams over 60. We needed to, our goal, big as bold could be, we needed to get to 65, and we got to 65 tonight and couldn't pull it off. But we thought we'd give ourselves a real chance if we could get to 65, because over 60, they've only won 40% of their games.
Curt, one last word about UT's resiliency. You kept getting it to 1 point, kept getting it there, and could never get over the hump.
I mean, they're a championship-type program, and they're veteran. They got great go-to players. They're really well coached. You know, we tried to put pressure on them, and I wonder what would have happened if we could have taken a late lead. But they kept making big play after big play, and never really gave us a chance. If we could have got that defensive rebound with 21 seconds to go, could we have run a play to win it, or send it to overtime? And one more big play, and that's what happens in games that close. Who makes more big plays? And I thought their kids stepped up and made big plays, but we did not go away. We shot 25% from our starting guards, but you couldn't have told me that we would shoot 5 for 6 from the arc with our starting post players. So we stepped up and made a lot of plays to put ourselves in position to win. We came up short, though.
With this being the last game in this rivalry in this building, does it make it any more disappointing you couldn't pull out a win?
No, we haven't lost in this building in 3 years, almost 3 years to the day. An amazing run. I mean, we were 6th in the nation in longest win streak right now. We haven't lost in this building in 3 years. So we want to win every game in this building. It makes it no different that it was Toledo or it would have been Kent State or someone else that beat us. We wanted to try to win as many games in this building as possible, but it doesn't take away what this building means to us. There's very, very few home court advantages like this place. 39 of our last 40, I'll take them.
Anything else? Okay.